Hello? Hello and welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the title, this is books I want to read in 2022. I did a series I want to finish in 2022, and I don't think I put any, no, I didn't put any books on my series I want to finish on here, but these are just books. These might be like the second book in a series or something like that, but none of the books are in the series that I mentioned that I want to finish. It's kind of complicated, but this is books I want to read in 2022. Okay, so I have I have 4 categories here, and let's just get started. So the first category is books that are released in 2022, that are being published in 2022. The first book is oh my god, I already forgot the name. The Shadow of the Gods Book 2. I will have it on the screen right here. And yeah, so Shadow of the Gods Book 2. I loved Shadow of the Gods I love Shadow of Gods. And I really enjoyed reading that, and I had a bunch of theories going through, and it was really fun reading it. So I will definitely be getting to that in 2022. I can't wait. Next is Gwendy's Button Box Book 3. I think it's Gwendy's Final Task is the name. That is a Stephen King release. I think it's his only release in 2022. And I say that because in 2021 he released 2 books. So book 3, I have read book 1. I'm planning to read book 2 in January. But I did not put that on this books I want to read in 2022. So I want to read Gwendy's Button Box Book 3 in 2022. Next is Mistborn Era 2 Book 4. And I just broke what I just said at the start. So I said in series I want to finish, I said I wanted to read Mistborn Era 2. And Mistborn Era 2 Book 4 is being released, the last book in the series, in I think November or something. So I will be planning to read that in November if all goes to plan and I read the previous books first. Okay, second category is Stephen King specifically. I did have Gwendy's Button Box in books released, but there's going to be some overlapping between them. So Stephen King specifically, since he's probably my most read author and my favorite author, period. So first book is Insomnia. Many people say this is their least favorite Stephen King book. It's really hard to get through, but it has a very big importance, I've heard, in the Dark Tower series, and people say read it in between book 4 and 5. So I just finished book 4. My review for book 4 will come out tomorrow, and so I'm planning to read Insomnia before I get to book 5, because apparently Insomnia has an importance in the last 3 books, book 5, 6, 7 of the series. So can't wait to read Insomnia, even though it might be a little boring. And next is The Talisman, and obviously another Stephen King, and this is another one that has to do with the Dark Tower series. Stephen King is really cool how he has this like whole multiverse happening, where there's characters in other books that appear in the Dark Tower series, and Dark Tower is like the focal point, like the middle of all his books. And I want to learn so much more about the Dark Tower series. And I don't think you don't have to read any other books. You could just read all 7 Dark Tower books. But if you want to just understand more about the characters, some might appear in other of their own books. So I think Talisman is one of them. Next is It. This one I don't think has a big importance in the Dark Tower series, but it's just a classic. I am halfway through. I actually read a bit this month. I think I actually read like over 100 pages this month. I'm at page 500, right? I'm on checking my book. I can't lift it up. I'm at page 500. So I'm at page 500 right now, and I have another 800 pages to go. I'm gonna finish that in 2022. And lastly, in the Stephen King category is The Stand, another one of Stephen King's very long ones and very important ones in his multiverse. I don't want to say anything, but the villain appears in the Dark Tower series. That is in The Stand. The third category that I'll be talking about, and the second last, is sci-fi. I have 2 books in here, and that is Heir to the Empire, book 1 in the Thrawn trilogy, and Apollo Murders by Chris Hadfield. I got Apollo Murders for Christmas, my birthday, I mean, and Chris Hadfield, I hopefully he can pull off a sci-fi thriller, and I can't wait to read that. And I keep saying I can't wait to read it, but I can't wait to read any of these. I wish I could just stop time and read all of them. So Heir to the Empire, first book in the Thrawn trilogy, and I want to go deeper into like Star Wars lore, and I know Legends might not be like 100% canon, but some people do consider it canon because Disney just scrapped all that. So yeah, I just want to learn some more about the lore and history of Star Wars other than the movies. So yeah, last category is fantasy. And you might consider Star Wars fantasy, but I just had to pick one category that they're in. So yeah, I have 5 books in fantasy. I have, the first book is The Wise Man's Fear. The second book in the, what do you call it? The Name of the Wind series. What is that called? I forget the series name. The King Killer Chronicles. Yeah, so Wise Man's Fear, I read book 1 of King Killer Chronicles in 2021, and I actually quite enjoyed it. So I'm gonna read Wise Man's Fear in 2022, but I am hesitant because I'm scared that I'll read it and then I'll have to reread it before the third one comes out. Hopefully, if it comes out. And the second one in fantasy is Rage of Dragons, the first book in the Burning series. I have heard so much about this series, this book, and I just hopefully it lives up to the hype. The third book is Warbreaker, by Brandon Sanderson, and I think it's a standalone book, fantasy book in his Cosmere world thing that is, I don't know, it's connected, I guess. I don't know. I've only read Mistborn and a bit of Stormlight, and maybe there'll be more interlocking, I guess, between the series, maybe. The second last book that I am planning to read in 2022 is The Blade Itself, the first book in Joe Abercrombie's First Law series. Again, another book that people just keep saying is really good, and I keep putting it off. Because there's so many ones that I want to read, and so Blade Itself. And the last book I want to read in 2022 is The Silmarillion. I have got up to, I think, like a quarter of the way through the book this year, like in November, and I put it down because I don't know what happened. I think I started another book, like I always do. And so again, I want to learn more about the world of Lord of the Rings, the history, and just I want to learn more about this rich world that Tolkien has created. So those are 15 books that I am planning to read in 2022. If all goes to plan, I will at least have 15 books that is on my wrap up of 2022, my year wrap up. Anyway, that's 15 books I want to read. Tell me in the comments books you want to read in 2022. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.